Hello dear students, today we are going to study our second chapter, Wonders of Visible Light. Wonders of Visible Light. Okay. In this chapter, we studied about light. You know that what is light? Okay, light is a form of energy and it travels in a straight line. Okay, look here. Look here. What is your observation? What is your observation? Okay, light is being directed into the house using mirror. Light is being directed into the house using mirror. What are the other devices or objects used instead of mirror? Okay, and we can use steel plate, aluminum plate, tiles, etc. Okay, let us do an experiment. Okay, can you tell me what are the materials required for doing this experiment? Okay. What are the materials? Okay, a torch is needed for this experiment. A torch is needed for this experiment. Then a steel plate, aluminum plate, a tile, a smooth floor tile, a roof tile, a paper, a chart paper, etc. Do for this experiment. Okay, first we take a mirror. First we take a mirror. Okay, then take a torch. Then direct the light from the torch into the mirror. Direct the light from the torch into the mirror. What is your observation? What is your observation? Okay, you can see that light is reflected. Light is reflected. Okay, then next you take a steel plate. You take a steel plate, then direct the light from the torch into the steel plate. Okay, look here. What is your observation? You can see that light is reflected. Light is reflected. Reflected light very well. Okay, this is a steel plate and reflected light very well. Okay, then next you take a aluminum plate. Take a aluminum plate and direct the torch, light from the torch into the aluminum plate. You can see that the light reflected partially. The light reflected partially. Okay. Then next, take a smooth floor tile. Take a smooth floor tile. Then you can see that light is reflected well. Light is reflected well. Okay, you can see that light is reflected well. Okay, next take a cardboard. Take a cardboard, then direct the light from the torch into the cardboard. Can you see anything? No, light does not reflect. Light does not reflect. Then next, take a piece of cloth. Take a piece of colored cloth. Then direct the light from the torch into the cloth. What is your observation? There is no reflection. There is no reflection. Okay. Then next, take a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper. Then direct the light from the torch. You cannot see anything. Light does not reflected. Light does not reflected. Okay. Can you tell me what is your observation? What is your observation? Okay, using different types of materials, some objects reflect light very well. Some objects reflect light very well. Okay, then some objects reflect light not very well or does not reflect light. Does not reflect light. Okay, can you tell me the definition of reflection? Can you tell me the definition of reflection? Okay, reflection of light is the return or comeback of light that falls on a surface. That falls on a surface. Okay, reflection of light is the return of light. Return of light that falls on a surface, and a mirror, steel plate, etc. reflect light very well. Mirror, steel plate, etc. reflect light very well, and paper, cardboard, etc. does not reflect light. Okay, look here. First, what are the objects we required or used for this experiment? First one is steel plate, then second one aluminum plate, then shining floor tile, a cardboard, next a roof tile, then a colored piece of cloth, a paper. Okay, these are the materials required for this experiment. You can use other materials for this experiment. Okay. First one, new steel plate. New steel plate. Okay. What is your observation? Light reflect very well or reflect light very well. Okay. Then next, aluminum plate. Aluminum plate. Okay. Reflect light partially. Reflect light partially. The next, shining floor tile. Shining floor tile reflect light very well. Reflect light very well. Fourth one, a cardboard. A cardboard not reflect light. Not reflect light. One, a roof tile. Roof tile also not reflect light. A colored piece of cloth. A colored piece of cloth not reflect light. Then a paper not reflect light. Then what is mean by reflection? What is mean by reflection? Okay, reflection of light is the return of light that falls on a surface. That falls on a surface. Okay, reflection of light is the return or comeback of light that falls on a surface. Okay, you should write these points in your science diary. You should write these points in your science diary. Next, we are going to study the surface matter. Surface matter. Okay, we can classify the reflection into two types on the basis of considering the surface. Okay, first one is regular reflection. Regular reflection. Okay, then second one, diffuse reflection. Diffuse reflection. Okay, look at textbook, page number 24. This is a regular reflection. This is a regular reflection, and this is a diffuse reflection. Okay, can you tell me what is mean by regular reflection? Okay, when light falls on a surfaces like a steel plate, smooth floor tile, mirror, etc., that surfaces are smooth. That surfaces are smooth, and when light falls on a smooth surfaces like a steel plate, a mirror, smooth floor tile, etc. When light falls on a smooth surfaces, it is reflected regularly. It is reflected regularly. It is reflected regularly, and this is known as regular reflection, and this is known as regular reflection. Okay. When light falls on a smooth surfaces, it is reflected regularly. Mirrors have plain surfaces or smooth surfaces and reflect light regularly. Okay. Then next, diffuse reflection. When light falls on a rough surfaces. Next is diffuse reflection. When light falls on a rough surfaces, it is reflected irregularly. It is reflected irregularly. When light falls on a rough surfaces like paper, cardboard, etc. When light falls on a cardboard or paper, it is reflected irregularly, and that is known as diffuse reflection. Diffuse reflection. When light falls on a rough surfaces, it is reflected irregularly, and that is known as diffuse reflection. First we have studied reflection. What is meant by reflection? Okay. Reflection of light is the return of light that falls on a surfaces. Okay. Then next, regular reflection. When light falls on a smooth surfaces, it is reflected regularly, and that is known as regular reflection. Then when light falls on a rough surfaces, it is reflected irregularly, and that is known as diffuse reflection. Look here. Look here. First, regular reflection. Regular reflection. When light falls on a smooth surfaces like mirror, steel plate, smooth floor tile, etc., it is reflected regularly. It is reflected regularly. This is known as regular reflection. This is known as regular reflection. The next, mirrors are surfaces which reflect light regularly. Mirrors are surfaces which reflect light regularly, and this picture indicates regular reflection. This picture indicates regular reflection. Next, diffuse reflection. Diffuse reflection. When light falls on rough surfaces like cardboard, roof tile, etc., it is reflected irregularly. It is reflected irregularly, and this is diffuse reflection. This picture indicates diffuse reflection. This picture indicates diffuse reflection. You should write these points in your science diary. You should write these points and this picture also in your science diary. Okay. Next, we are going to study light and sight. Light and sight. Light and sight. Look here. This picture indicates the path of light when we see an object. This picture indicates the path of light when we see an object. We can see an object. We can see an object when light falls on that object and reflected into our eyes. We can see an object when light falls on an object and reflected into our eyes. Okay, here is a work for you. You observe the figure and draw the path of light in this figure. First you observe the figure. A boy is crossing the road. A dog is seen by torchlight. Okay, you first observe the figure and draw the path of light. Okay. Then next, what is the method we use to see our face? What is the method or which is the device used? Okay, we use mirrors. What is mean by mirrors or plane mirrors? Mirrors with a plane surface is known as plane mirror. Mirrors with a plane surface is known as plane mirror. Okay. Now this is the time to wind up my class. Continue next class.